So in today's lecture, we discuss about the basics about the HVDC transmission system. So in the last lecture, I give you some general idea why we require the HVDC transmission, what are the advantage of HVDC transmission system as compared to the HVAC transmission system. Yeah? And we also discuss the syllabus of this chapter, content of this chapter, introduction, comparison of AC and DC transmission, limitation of HVDC transmission line as compared to HVAC line. What are the equipment required for HVDC system, reliability concept, HVDC configuration, all these things we'll discuss in the later on. So first we start with the evolution of power system. So how this power system evolution starts. So late 1870, first commercial use of electricity starts, but in 1882, first electrical power system was built by Thomas Alva Edison at the Pearl Street in the New York, and they have generators, cable, fuse, and load. Load nothing but incandescent lamp, only lamp load. There is no inductive load like motor. And it is surprise to you that it is a DC system. First power system is nothing but a DC system, because here in that they use a DC generator to generate the power. So this is a first DC system, or this is a first power system. And this first power system has 59 customers, and it is in the area of 1.5 kilometer in radius, and which is operated at 110 volt. And as I already told you that lamp load is only lamp load, and it is the underground power transmission to the DC system. So this is the first electrical power system which is built by the Thomas Alva Edison in USA, in New York. And in 1886, there are some limitation of DC system is arises, like two aspect, high losses and voltage drop. So why high losses happens? Because you see that operating voltage is very small. Yeah. So when voltage is small and power is high, obviously the current is very high. So current flowing in the DC transmission system is high. Because of that, I square losses is very high. So that's why this is a limitation of DC system, that high losses happens. And another is a voltage drop. The voltage drop is also because of the high current, because as the current is high, voltage drop is high. I into R. R is nothing but a resistance of cable. So as the current is high, the voltage drop in the DC system is high. So that's why at the receiving side you not get the rated voltage. So here you can see that first DC system is 110 volt, and it is only in the radius of 1.5 kilometer. The reason is that you cannot transmit that much of voltage at a very long distance level, because if you transmit that voltage at the long distance, at the receiving side you get the very less voltage because of the voltage drop. Clear? So this is one of the limitation of DC system where it is invented at that time. Clear? Then to minimize these aspects of DC system, and keep in mind that this is not a HVDC system, this is the only DC system. This is operated at a very low voltage level. Clear? So it is not a HVDC system, it is only a DC system, low voltage DC system. So to remove this disadvantage of DC system like high losses and voltage drop, the people starting inventing the AC system. For that, invent the transformers and AC distribution system. So that was invented by William Stanke, which is of Westinghouse Electric Corporation, which is one of the electric company in the USA, and William Stanke is one of the member of this company. They invented the transformers as well as AC distribution system to remove the disadvantage of the DC system. Then after 1888, Nikola Tesla developed the polyphase system. It means three-phase system, and they also developed the generators, motors, transformers, and transmission line. And patent of all these devices like polyphase system, generator, motor, transformer, all these patents are bought by this Westinghouse Corporation. from the from the Nikola Tesla. So now the Westinghouse Electric Corporation is the owner of all the system like generator, transformer, motor, transmission line, and polyphase system. So after that, this Westinghouse Electrical Company in 1889 first developed the AC transmission system in the USA, which is between the Willamette Falls and Portland. This is the 1-2 area in the USA, where they installed the single phase 4000 volt AC transmission system, and which is a 20-kilometer distance from its power to transmit the power over the 21-kilometer distance from generating station to the load center. So this is the first AC transmission system, and which is a single phase system. Then after in 1890, controversy started that the industry should standardize AC or DC. Yeah. But finally decide that because some advantage of AC system as compared to DC, like we can increase the voltage by using transformer, because at that time transformer was invented. So we can increase or decrease the voltage level by using transformer, and because of simple and cheap generators and motor of AC system, so that's why at that time industry standardized or used the AC system. Yeah. In 1893, first three-phase line was built, which is a 2.3 kV line, and which is transmit the power over the 12-kilometer distance in the California. This is the world first three-phase transmission line. Then, as you see that initially the voltage level of the three-phase system is very low, and as years are passing on, the advancement of the insulating materials are built, so voltage level of transmission line is also increases. So you can see that in 1922, earlier the voltage, maximum voltage is 165 kV, and as the years goes, because of advancement of the insulating material, so the voltage level was also increasing. So at 1990, developed the maximum voltage level 1100 kV. Yeah, because of the advancement of the insulating material. Yeah. Earlier, we have not insulating material which withstand the very high voltage. So at that time, it is not capable to transmit the power at high voltage level. As you know that the advantage of transmitting the power at high voltage level. As we transmit the power at high voltage level, we can reduce the current. So ultimately, when we reduce the I-square losses. Okay. So to reduce the losses as well as to transmit the power, transmit the bulk power over a long distance, we require the high voltage. Clear? So because of advances of insulating material, we now capable to transmit the voltage. So it transmit the power at a very high voltage level like 1100 kV. Same way earlier the frequency, different frequency we use like 25, 50, 125, 60, 133 hertz. But after that, because of the interconnection problems, because for interconnection of the AC system, we require the constant frequency or same frequency. So after that, realized that to standardize some frequency. So in USA, they standardize the 60 hertz frequency, and other countries like European countries and Asian countries, they standardize the 50 hertz frequency. As we know that in India, we have 50 hertz system, and USA, there is a 60 hertz system. Here. So now after that, we understand that how the HVDC system or HVDC transmission come into picture. So in parallel with the AC system, HVDC system is also start the invention. Like in 1880 and between 1880 and 1911, at least 11 theory system is developed in Europe. And this is nothing but a HVDC system. The Thury is one of the prominent inventor of this HVDC system. That's why the HVDC system is called as the Thury system. And they developed the 11 system in the Europe. Out of this 11 system, one of the biggest system was developed, installed in the France in 1906. And it is a 180 kilometer long. Out of that, 4.5 kilometers is underground cable. And they transmit the power of 4.3 megawatt at a voltage level 57.6 kV. This is a DC voltage, and current is 75 ampere. Yeah. And at that time there is no converter, there is no power electronic devices invented. So for generation, they use the DC series generator. There is no AC series, there is no AC generator, because at that time AC was not, at that time they not possible to develop the voltage at this voltage level. So DC series generators are used to generate this voltage. And again, this is not only single DC generator, they use the number of DC series generator in series parallel combination to make this rating like 57.6 kV and 75 ampere. Because at that time, the insulation was not that so much developed that withstand this much of voltage. So it is not possible to develop the single DC generator of rating 57.6 kV. So they require the number of DC series generators in series parallel to make to increase the voltage level or current level. Yeah. So DC series generator was used to generate the voltage, to generate the power, and that is operating in the constant current control mode. The meaning of this constant current control mode means that they control the power by changing the voltage. Here in this system, the current is constant, means 75 ampere current is constant, but voltage is varied by the controlling of the DC series generator. Yeah. It is exactly opposite to the AC system. In AC system, we know that we control the power. Power is controlled at the AC side, or transmitting the power that depend upon the load condition. In the transmission system, AC transmission system, we know that the voltage is fixed. The current is varied depending upon the load condition. Clear? Exactly opposite here. Here current is constant and voltage is varied. So this is a constant current control mode. So this is the first HVDC system was built in Europe, basically in the France in 1906. And then after in 1938, the all theory system was dismantled due to the safety and maintenance problem, because large maintenance is required in the DC series generators. So because of economical reason and because the safety problems, all this theory system was dismantled. But in 1950, when mercury arc valve was developed, which is nothing but a one type of switch, before the invention of thyristor or any semiconductor devices, we use the mercury arc valve as a switch in the electronic devices. So after the invention of mercury arc valve, it is possible that to convert AC to DC. Yeah. So after that, the HVDC system becomes more popular, because now we can generate the power to the AC generator. So there is no any safety or maintenance problems related to the DC generator, because now we can generate the power by AC generator, and by the conversion through the mercury arc valve converter, we can convert this high voltage AC to high voltage DC, and we can transmit the power through the cable in HVDC transmission line. And again, at the receiving side, we can convert this DC to the AC, and we can use that the power at the load side in form of AC. So in 1954, first HVDC transmission system, this is the first HVDC transmission system was developed between Sweden and Gotland Island. This Gotland Island, it is a part of the Sweden, but between this Sweden and Gotland Island there is a sea, so it is not possible to transmit the power through the AC line because of the line charging current and all the problems. So first HVDC line, high voltage DC transmission line, was developed after the invention of the mercury arc valve, which is based on the converter configuration. Generation is AC, but transmission through the HVDC line. This theory system was completely DC, because generation is also DC and transmission is also DC. But this is a fully HVDC system, because in this system we use the converters to convert AC to DC and DC to AC at both the side. So here Sweden is the mainland where power is transmitted here in the Gotland Island. So Sweden generate the power through the AC generator, and Gotland Island, this is the power which is the load center. So at the Sweden side, we use the converter which rectifies the power from AC to DC through the mercury arc rectifier. And then at the Gotland Island, convert this DC into AC through the inverters. And this is the first HVDC system, and which is a 70 kilometer long. as I already told you, that is not feasible because of the in AC transmission line for this long distance, the charging problems in the distribution, sorry, in the transmission line because of the distribution capacitance form between line. So it is not possible that much of long distance AC line. So you can see that here the map, where is the Sweden and where is the Gotland Island. So you can see that Sweden, that is the mainland, and this one is this circle is nothing but a Gotland Island. So the distance between mainland Sweden and Gotland Island is 70-kilometer length. So through the sea, DC cable to transmit the power from Sweden to Gotland. You can see some of the picture of at that time where the erection of HVDC line is erected between Sweden and Gotland Island. So you can see that this is the erection of cable. This is nothing but a submarine cable where the DC power is transmitted. And this is nothing but a converters. Mercury arc valve is used for conversion AC to DC and DC to AC. So this is a substation, converter substation, where conversion of power is happen. So this is the first HVDC system was invented. Now let's discuss that what are the limitations of HVAC system. Because of that, we use the HVDC system. So first limitation is that the reactive power loss. So as you know that the active power and reactive power, both power is possible only in the AC system. Clear? So let's understand this here. I will write here. Are you able to see the screen? All of you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here I give you the general idea that what are the limitation of HVAC transmission system. So first limitation is that
Screen
yes?
बजी रही सर. Screen बजी रही.
1 minute. मारी नोट देखा है नोट्स?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, 1 minute. Now you can see this?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Now are you able to see the screen?
No, sir.
Sir, खाली.
No, sir.
શું સ્ક્રીન શું આમે સામે શું આવે છે?
Team.
તમારી સ્ક્રીન શેરિંગ જ ચાલુ નથી થઈ.
हाँ.
1 minute. Okay, wait for 1 minute. I solve the problem. हेलो, દેખાય છે બધાને સ્ક્રીન?
તમારો માઇક બંધ છે.
યસ સર, તમે માઉસ દેખાય છે?
યસ સર.
ઓકે ઓકે,
આપેલો.
બોલ એક વધારે આવે છે.
અડધી પોણી મિનિટનો લાઈક છે. બોલો લાઈક છે.
ટ્રાન્સફર લાવે તો બહુ વાર લાગતી હોય છે.
લૂપમાં નહીં કરતો ને, એટલી બધી ક્લિક કરી આપ. હવે નહીં કરે. એટલે ઓલમોસ્ટ 1 જ મિનિટનો લાઈક છે. કઈ નહીં, ચાલો, પણ બંને ઓડિયો વિડીયો બંને લાઈક જતો તો ક્યાં વાંધો છે.
હું બોલીશ ને લખવામાં વાર લાગશે, નહીં આવે. જો અત્યારે હું બોલું છે તે એનો ડાયરેક્ટ સંભળાશે. Hello student, wait for 5 minutes. I will join after 5 minutes. Because of some technical problem, I am not able to see here. So I shift from here PC to my laptop. So I will take 5 minutes for that. So wait for 5 minutes, all of you. Hello, all of you. Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can you see the screen? Notebook?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start the first. What are the limitation of HVAC system? Because of that, we require the HVAC system. So first limitation is that reactive power loss. Clear? So what is basically reactive power? That is because of the reactance. As we know that in the HVAC power or in any AC transmission system, there are two power. One is active power, which is P is equal to V1 V2 divided by X into sine delta. Clear? And another power which is called reactive power, Q is equal to I square X into L minus V square by Xe. So that is a first one, that is a active power transmitted in the transmission line. That is the equation of active power transmission. And the second is the equation of reactive power loss, which happens in the transmission line. Then what is the equation of active power loss? So that is P loss is equal to nothing but I square into R. Clear? बजाने हमारी स्क्रीन देखा है all of you? When I speak and when I write, both are at the same time.
थोड़ा lag है, sir.
Is there any lag between these two?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is a large lag or it is a very small lag between whatever I speak and whatever I write here? Yes, tell me. વધારે લેગ છે કે પછી થોડો માઇનર લેગ આવે છે?
4 seconds.
Okay. So I think there is no problem to you. If any problem, please ask me. So here, first disadvantage of HVAC line is the reactive power loss. So you know that this equation Q is equal to I square into XL minus V square divided by XC. So what is XL? So XL is nothing but inductive reactance. So what is the equation of inductive reactance? It is 2 pi F into L. Clear? So basically this inductive reactance is because of the inductance of the line as well as the frequency. So in India we use the 50 Hz frequency. Clear? So this is the inductive reactance because of the inductance of the transmission line. And second is the Xc, which is a capacitive reactance. Capacitive reactance. So equation of capacitive reactance is what? 1/2 pi Fc. So again, this capacitive reactance is because of frequency as well as capacitance. So because of the frequency present in the AC power, both losses happens. Because of inductive reactance, that loss is I square XL, but this V square divided by XC, that is nothing but a generation of reactive power. So overall loss happens, overall reactive power loss happens in the AC line, that is nothing but I square into XL minus V square by XC. So I square by XL, that is a loss of reactive power because of inductive reactance, and V square by XC, that is a generation of reactive power because of capacitive reactance. So overall loss of reactive power, that is nothing but I square XL minus V square XC. So this loss happens only and only in the AC system, and which is not possible in case of DC system because we know that frequency is 0 in DC system. Clear? So this is the first disadvantage of HVAC line or AC line, or we can say that it is the advantage of DC system or HVDC system, because in HVDC system we have only resistance R. There is no XL or XC because frequency is 0. So there is no reactive power, or there is no reactive power loss in the DC transmission line. So it means that we can transmit the maximum active power to the DC transmission line. Yes, because in AC line, the total power is what? Apparent power, which is P plus JQ. P is the active power, Q is the reactive power. But in DC line, only active power is presented. We know the equation, it is V into I only. Clear? So this is the first advantage of using the HVDC line. Now, second advantage of HVDC, or we can say that second disadvantage of HVAC line, that is nothing but stability. Yeah. I think we have not more detail about this, what is stability, but I give you the general idea what is means stability in HVAC system or AC system. So I think you know that this is a P angle delta curve. P is nothing but active power flow in the AC line, and delta, that is nothing but angle difference between two buses. Suppose that here there is the generator bus, that voltage is V1 and angle is delta, and the receiving side here load bus where voltage is V2. Suppose the angle is 0. So the equation of active power transmission, P is equal to V1 V2 divided by X. X is nothing but a transmission line reactance into sine delta. Clear? So here sine delta is what? That is nothing but angle difference between two buses. Or you can say that suppose generator bus angle is delta 1 and load bus suppose angle is delta 2. So this delta is nothing but delta 1 minus delta 2, angle difference between two buses, generator bus and load bus. So this active power is transmitted through the transmission line as per this equation. So as per the P delta curve, which shows that how much maximum power we can transmit it. So this is a general graph of power transmitted in the AC line. So you can see that maximum active power transmitted in the AC line, that is at angle delta max of 90 degree. Clear? At delta 90 degree, you can transmit the maximum power. You can see in the equation also, when delta is 90, at that time power P is maximum. So it is V1 V2 divided by X only, because sine delta is 1 because delta is 90 degree. So at this point of angle difference between two bus, we can transmit the maximum power in the HVAC line or any AC line. Yes. But what is the problem here? We cannot transmit the active power maximum up to this limit. The problem is that suppose sudden disturbance happens in the AC line, it may be possible that angle is or angle difference is increased more than 90 degree. It means in this region, and this is the unstable region. If the angle difference is more than 90 degree, it means your system goes into the unstable region. This is the unstable region. So that's why we generally not operate the AC line at delta 90 degree, or we cannot transmit the maximum power at
સર
delta
બહુ
90.
બહુ લેગ થાય છે.
બહુ વધારે લેગ આવે છે.
હા સર
હા સર લેગ બહુ છે.
ચોંટી જાય સર તમારો હાથ જ એક જગ્યાએ.
ઓકે ઓકે ઓકે
સર 7 થી 8 સેકન્ડનો લેગ આવે છે હવે.
okay okay. So maybe I provide you the recorded lecture also for this lecture. So there is no meaning that to take this time lecture because this leg is very high. 7 to 8 seconds is very high. તો મજા નહીં આવે, તમને પણ મજા નહીં આવે, મને પણ મજા નહીં આવે. Clear? So this next solution is that I provide the recorded lecture.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
And that recorded lecture we will discuss tomorrow. Clear? If
Okay.
I find
Yes,
any
sir.
solution, then we take lecture online. Otherwise, again tomorrow also I will provide it to the recorded lecture, and we will discuss through the online after completion of the lecture. Clear?
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Sir, even Google Meet is an option for this, where this lag time will be very much less as compared to Teams.
Okay. So I will try it. If I find a solution, then tomorrow I will start that on that platform, because today I will not have a time for that to go for another medium. Clear? So today I will provide the recorded lecture of this, and tomorrow we meet in the Google Meet. Clear? Because we have already made the Google Classroom.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can leave the lecture right now.